I am standing in the rolling green neighborhood of Edina, Minnesota, and Edina, if you've watched any of our other videos, is one of Minneapolis's most desirable suburbs. And today, we've got a special treat. We are going to actually compare Edina to its next door neighbor, Minnetonka. As you'll see, these communities have a lot in common, but they've got a distinctly different vibe. And hey, if this is your first time stopping by our channel, thank you very much. My name is Chris, my business partner Trevor, the team. We like to get out into these communities around Minneapolis, Minnesota, around St. Paul, Minnesota. So if you're thinking about making a move up here around the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, all of our contact information is below. Whether you're moving in 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, it doesn't matter. Reach out. We'd love to help you. We help people like you make a move here every single day. And as you can see, there is a lot to love in these neighborhoods. All right, in our battle of the suburbs, the first thing we are going to take a peek at is location, because, well, in real estate, they say location, location, location. And I'm going to cut right to it. I'm going to tell you right now, Edina wins this battle, my friend. But it's real close, and honestly, you could make an argument. It depends on what you're looking for. So we'll take a look here, and you can see the outline of Edina. I just like to push that in so you can kind of see where Edina proper is. And here's why I will tell you I think Edina wins on location. So Edina, being the first ring suburb that it is, has better access, to Minneapolis, including South Minneapolis, which is where you're going to find some of these lakes that are very popular. You've got better access to Minneapolis from Edina than you do from Minnetonka. So that's point one. MSP, Minneapolis St. Paul Metropolitan Airport, very highly rated, ranked nationally very well for those of you that need to travel a lot. If you need to travel, Edina is a great place because you've got multiple direct routes right out of Edina. You can take Highway 62 and get to the airport. You can take 494 and get to the airport. No matter where you're coming from in Edina, you're probably not more than 10, maybe 15 minutes away from the airport. Makes that piece really convenient as well. And then just accessibility. This is called the Beltway, and this road literally does a huge, big old loop around the metro. That's on the southern border of Edina, making things in the metro itself very accessible. Delving into Edina proper, same thing. You got Highway 100 running north and south. You have Highway 62, which also runs east and west across the metro. So Edina is very accessible. Great location as it relates to Minneapolis itself and even St. Paul. So location is actually a pretty big deal, I would argue, for Edina. So let's bring up Minnetonka and just give you a look at where that is. So Minnetonka is going to be more of a second ring suburb compared to Edina. You've got Minneapolis, you've got St. Louis Park, and then you've got Minnetonka. So Minnetonka, you're going to be more like probably 20 to 25 minutes to the airport, depending on where you are coming from exactly. The shot to downtown Minneapolis, Edina is definitely closer being down here, but Minnetonka right down 394 or even Highway 7, it's still pretty easy. So yes, Edina is closer and has the shorter commute, but that doesn't make Minnetonka challenged in that department. Downtown Minneapolis is still very accessible from Minnetonka. What Minnetonka does have that Edina does not, and pending on your personality, you can make an argument for either, but pending on that, Minnetonka is going to be closer to Lake Minnetonka, which is a pretty big deal in the metro. And it's also going to be close. It's a second ring suburb, so it's just closer to the edge of the metro, which means, green space and the wild woods and all that good stuff out here. So if you like to get out of the city, maybe Minnetonka's location is a better fit. Again, this is almost 6 of one, half dozen of another. If I had to give the edge on location, I would definitely give it to Edina, however. Okay, so that was commute, location, and as you can see, Minnetonka and Edina are very close. Edina's got the slight edge being a little closer to downtown. That's going to be the theme with a lot of these categories. Edina and Minnetonka are going to be very comparable. So next we're going to talk about cost of living, and we're going to pop up some numbers on the screen here for you just so you can take a look. But the thing to understand right away is both Minnetonka and Edina are going to be more expensive than your typical American suburb. According to the data I found with the assistance of my friend Mr. Chat GPT, overall cost of Minnetonka is 22% more indexed than the national average, where Edina is 38% above the national average as far as cost of living. Median home value in Edina, depending on the source you look at exactly, it's going to be in the low 600s. Minnetonka is going to be more in the mid 400s. So home prices definitely more expensive in Edina versus Minnetonka. Income is real similar. Both these median household incomes are going to be in the low 100K region. Again, both are wealthier than average suburbs. Edina's got a little bit higher median income than does Edina. And just then, so we had the cost of living and now the housing index. Minnetonka homes are 84% more expensive compared to the national average. And get this, Edina is 136% more expensive. So cost of living, both are expensive, as you can see. Don't move to Edina or Minnetonka if you are looking for a fantastic place with a very low cost of living, because that's not these places. These are fantastic places. They do have a higher cost of living. I think to sum it up, Minnetonka offers a slightly more affordable experience when you compared with Edina. So after cost of living, we are going to just touch on housing in both Edina and Minnetonka, just so you have an idea of what you're getting into in both of these places. And they both, again, Minnetonka and Edina are very similar, but they both have a distinct feel about them relative to each other. So I would say, excuse the corniness here, but think of Minnetonka as more nature-inspired living with a lot of architectural variety. You are a little bit farther away from the big city, Minneapolis. You are more on the fringe of the metro area, so you're closer to nature. Minnetonka in particular offers a really good blend of natural beauty, a lot of diverse housing options, a lot of variety with lot sizes, and you will find more options probably across a wider range of a budget in Minnetonka than you will in Edina. You'll find craftsman and custom built homes found in neighborhoods like Groveland. These are going to be anywhere on the low end from probably around 400K, and these will push up over 600. You will find Rambler and traditional style homes as well. These tend to get up a bit higher, 650 up into the millions. If you're not from Minnesota, it's just one thing to know. The home that drives the most value most of the time in Minnesota is the single level, is a one level Rambler. And if you think about it, there's two things in play there. One, your square footage is across just 2 levels instead of 3. But especially in places like Minnesota, when you've got a large foundation, you've got 2 levels, you are excavating a big old chunk of ground. A foundation obviously adds a significant cost to a home. Just a pro real estate tidbit there. And then of course with Minnetonka, you are going to round out as you push into the westernmost flank of Minnetonka. You're going to buttress right up against Lake Minnetonka. And while most of these homes are not technically in Minnetonka, that's where you're going to find these homes that start at $1 million and frankly get almost as expensive as you want. Just kind of something to think about. Again, housing in Minnetonka, still expensive. It's going to be cheaper than Edina. Edina, on the other hand, here I come back with some more cheesy one-liners for you, is going to be more upscale urban living with kind of a historical charm to it. Edina is renowned for its elegant neighborhoods, historic homes, proximity to urban amenities, and appealing to those who are really seeking more of a sophisticated suburban lifestyle. Edina, you're probably a little bit more city-orientated. Minnetonka, housing-wise, you probably want to have a closer proximity to nature. But similar to Minnetonka, Edina's got many distinguished neighborhoods, Indian Hills, Parkwood Knolls, just to name a few. There's too many to name. You're going to find a very wide variety of architectural styles. You will find a lot of diversity with lot size as well. I think Minnetonka in general probably has bigger lots if we want to put an average out there. And again, Edina is going to be the more expensive of the two. Edina, sophisticated urban living with close proximity to a major metropolitan area. Minnetonka, still great living, slightly cheaper homes, and what you're trading that proximity to urban to proximity to nature. So this one for me is really hard to declare a winner because I just think it really depends on your preference. If you want to be closer to nature, it's probably Minnetonka. If you want that more urban feel, it's probably Edina. So when it comes to park, recreating, bike trails, walking trails, green spaces, and just getting outdoors, both Minnetonka and Edina knock it out of the park. I am on the Regional Bluffs trail right now in Minnetonka, just to give you an idea, but you're gonna find trails like this all over both Minnetonka and Edina. So we'll chat here a little bit about green space, recreating, and what life is like in these two awesome communities. Let's chat vibe. We are gonna get into the vibe of these two communities next. I'm just gonna compare and contrast here. A little bit different. I can't give you hard metrics like I can with cost of living or things like that. So this is a bit more esoteric, so just bear with me here. Both of them have a similar vibe, but I think there is a very distinct difference. Minnetonka, more relaxed, more nature focused, and probably a bit more family friendly than Edina. Not that Edina is not family friendly, it absolutely is, but if I'm picking between one of the two, I'd probably go Minnetonka right there. Edina, compared to Minnetonka in its nature-centric ways, is going to be more suburban comfort with urban sophistication. You're going to have upscale amenities and more of that urban lifestyle being right on the doorstep of Minneapolis itself. Parks, recreation, both do a great job with that. I think Minnetonka does a bit better there just because they are not hemmed in by suburbia and they're not as close to the city, frankly, as Edina is. Minnetonka has over 2,000 acres of parks and preserves. They've got Lake Minnetonka, which is the lake to recreate on if you are anywhere near in the metro. Edina does not have as many parks, or I shouldn't say they do not have the same amount of land space dedicated to their parks that Minnetonka does, but they still do really well. Edina does a great job of mixing green space into their urban space. Edina's got Centennial Lake Parks, which is a really cool spot to check out. That's a 24-acre park dropped smack dab into the middle of an urban environment. It's got a man-made lake, walking trails, paddle boats. You can do all kinds of stuff there with the family. So super cool spot. Minnetonka's ahead on the nature, but Edina is not far behind. Shopping and dining. I hate to say it, this is a pretty easy one. Edina smokes Minnetonka here. And Minnetonka just does not have a centralized downtown environment, a centralized downtown of any kind. If you've seen our Minnetonka Google Map tour, it's got pockets of kind of commercial activity and restaurants scattered around the community, but there is no centralized downtown area or hub, and that shows up in the form of nightlife. There is none. And you've got limited dining and shopping options. You've got Ridgedale and the area right around that in Minnetonka, and that's pretty close to it. Edina, man, they bring 50th and France to the table. If you've seen that in some of our other videos, 50th and France alone has over 175 upscale shops, restaurants, boutiques, eateries, all super walkable, super cool area. Make sure you check out 50th and France. They've also got Southdale and the Galleria Restoration Hardware, the Southdale Mall. So the shopping and dining, again, to me, that's part of that more urban feel. Edina definitely wins that battle. All right, next we are going to dive into the school districts of Minnetonka and Edina, and this is nothing but good news, my friends, because both are fantastic. You've got the number 2 and the number 4 ranked school district in the state, respectively, Minnetonka and Edina. So you're not going to make a bad decision no matter which place you end up. They do have different strengths, though, so we'll touch on that and just what you can expect at each one. Overall rating, both got A+, according to niche.com. Minnetonka School District is serving 11,000 plus students across 13 schools, whereas Edina is serving almost 9,000 across 11 schools. So the Minnetonka School District is going to be a little bit bigger. Academic performance, 71% of Minnetonka elementary students are proficient in reading. That number is 75% for Edina. Minnetonka, 77% proficient in math. Edina, 71%. So extremely similar numbers there. Minnetonka High School ranked number 276 by U.S. News and World Report. Edina High School ranked number 428 nationally by the same organization, U.S. News and World Report. So both on a national level are recognized. I think which is better for you might well come down to what you are looking to get from your school, because they excel with their special programs in different ways. Minnetonka's probably got more unique programs. They've got an international baccalaureate program. They, of course, both have AP courses. Minnetonka offers something called their Vantage program, and if you just punch Minnetonka School's Vantage program, you'll find it, and you can read all about it in Google. But this kind of blends classroom experience while giving students also hands-on real-world experience, maybe working with a company on an actual project they're working on. They've got their Momentum program, which focuses on the trades and technology as well. So that's what Minnetonka brings. Edina, on the other hand, their special programs are more geared towards language. They do really well with language immersion programs. So if that's more your cup of tea, Edina might be the better fit. Just again, it really comes down to what you're looking for. Minnetonka really offers, I guess if I had to sum it up, Minnetonka offers a broader range of specialized programs, including the International Baccalaureate and trade-focused education, where Edina has a slightly better reading proficiency and offers unique language immersion programs along with their very high graduation rate. Again, both of these school districts are fantastic. It's just really what's a better fit for your student. All right, guys, so that last little clip of homes, that drive-through, that was the Glen Lake area of Minnetonka, one of my favorite neighborhoods in Minnetonka, just to mention it. So as we wind this video down, you can probably kind of see the obvious. Edina and Minnetonka have a lot more in common than they do apart. I mean it. Both are two of Minneapolis and St. Paul's most desirable suburbs to live in. Both of them have top-tier schools and fantastic amenities. Both are great places to raise a family. Both are upscale communities. The difference really comes down to the vibe. Edina's going to bring a little bit more of that urban, closer to downtown, city, shopping, dining, nightlife, that whole thing. If that's more your cup of tea, you're probably Edina. You want to be a little bit further out, a little more nature focused versus urban focused, a little, and I mean little slower pace of life. Minnetonka is probably going to be a bit more your speed, but again, both are fantastic. You can't go wrong with either. So we are losing our sunlight today, I think. My name is Chris. I suffer from RBF, that's resting bitch face, but I am always happy, guys. I just get that comment a lot, so I just like to make fun of myself. Thank you for joining me. I mean it. If there's something you guys want to see, questions, comments, sarcasm, drop them below in the comments. I got this jet going right over my head, but I would love to hear what you guys would like to see some videos on, what your reactions are. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.